But I can remember you go to the payphone at the mall, make a collect call to your house, and say your name was Pickup. And that's how you let your parents know to pick you up. Your dad would get the phone and they'd be like, "You got a collect call from Pick Me Up." And it was like, it was like a robot, and then your voice. "You got a collect call from Pick Me Up." My dad would know to pick me up. He knew to pick me up in front of Sears. So I always been in front of Sears. Yep, I'm a Generation Xer. I was a kid in the 70s, a teenager in the 80s, and in my 20s in the 90s. What a great time. Great time in the 90s to be in your 20s, wasn't it? And great time to be a teenager were the 80s. And then a kid in the 70s. And I had a lot of fond memories. As you know from watching this channel, I mean, we talk a lot of Generation X here, right? From toys to movies, TV shows, whatever. And today I'm just going to reminisce about 15 things from the Generation X era that I miss. Now, a lot of these, or some of these, I might be a little silly if I did them today, but I do miss doing them as a kid back in the 70s and the 80s. And we're going to start right here with number one. And that's sitting on the bottom of the cart. What are you talking about, Junkman? Sitting on the bottom of the cart? What? Well, some of us call it a buggy. If you're in the South, you call it a buggy. That's the shopping cart at a store. And I can remember going to a local Piggly Wiggly, or maybe the Zayres. Zayres sold a lot of good toys. And usually with my grandma, and sometimes my grandpa, he liked to stay home a lot. I don't even like being by himself. I can understand that now that I'm older. But we go to the store, you know, me and my brother, me and my sister, grandma, and of course you get inside the cart or buggy, but I like sitting under it. And I can remember my brother always got to sit under it. I got to sit when I was real little in the top part where you put your feet. Where are you supposed to sit? I always had a little sign that said, "Don't sit at the bottom with the X through it," you know. But my brother didn't care, and he got a little older. He was just like, "I'm too big to fit under there." Then I got to sit under it. Watch your hands, because you don't want to get ran over by that shopping cart wheel. Trust me on that. You just let your fingers run through the floor, it'd be all dirty and everything. But I miss that. Your parents pushing you around the store. It was like you were in some kind of spaceship in one of them Star Wars movies you hear about. It was crazy. Yeah, I miss that. What about this one here? A little bit older, teen years, the smell of a cassette tape. Remember that when you got that new cassette tape? Maybe you're like, oh, Iron Maiden. Maybe you're really into the heavy metal bands like Iron Maiden or Def Leppard or Black Sabbath or Color Me Bad. And you're like, I gotta have it. You get it home, usually wrapped up. Remember it had some kind of wrapping paper on it? Later, I remember some was like cigarettes, had a little string you pull around. You take the plastic off of it, the wrapper off of it. It wasn't really plastic. And you open it up. That smell, I tell you when that smell really hit, is when they started using those clear cassette tapes. Remember that? Maybe I'll find a picture of them. Remember that? I've talked about it before. I was really into country music as a kid. I bought some other stuff. I mean, I had the Culture Club album. Don't tell anybody that. It's a little secret between me and you. I had a Culture Club album. And I bought some others here and there. I bought Beastie Boys, License to Ill. I think I got that on a cassette. But for me, I know I'm a little different. For some reason I liked old man music. But I can still popping up those cassettes. They smell the same. If you're buying Cyndi Lauper, if you were buying Dwight Yoakam, if you were buying Fat Boys, it didn't matter. They all smell the same. And I miss that. And I miss that excitement of getting a new, remember they get a new CD when the 90s, when the cassette, maybe an album, you would listen to it. You would put it on and just lay back. You weren't doing nothing else. Just lay back and listen to that all the way through. Flip it over, listen to it. Then you go through it again, try to pick out your favorite ones. Man, I miss that. I miss now the music is just there. Music is just there, whatever you want. Even if it's some new artist you like now, you get some music, it's there. No, you don't have to work for it. Back then, I had to work for it. I had to say, I would read that, like somebody's got a new album, I'll be saving up money. We had a place downtown I would usually go called a music shop. An old lady worked there named Faye. She's like, oh, what you come? I come and buy. She let me get it a day early. New release is Tuesday. She let me get it on Monday. It was awesome. Channel surfing. Channels, how can you miss that? Everything's now streaming, man. Everything's right there at your fingertips. Well, I hate that. Although I do use it. Seems like when it comes to streaming, if it's something I want to watch, it ain't streaming anywhere. I pay for all these damn streaming services, and when I want to watch something, I can't find it. Airheads. Where's that at? No. But I miss just channel surfing. Now, when I was real little, I had a little black and white TV in my room. It was a white TV. It was yellow and blue. No, yellow and black TV. Black and white on the screen, of course. And you had those knobs. You had those at the top that would go like 1 through 13. Then you had the UHF channel. You might get PBS on there sometime. And you just flip it around. Couldn't really find much, 3 or 4 channels. But then later, you started getting into the cable channels and satellite channels and stuff. I remember my uncle had one of those big satellite dish. He had a channel with nude women on it. I ain't gonna get into all that. But anyway, I just remember flipping. I would find stuff I never would have watched just flipping through. One of my favorite movies to this day is an Oliver Stone movie that doesn't get any love compared to Oliver Stone movies, and it's called Talk Radio. Love that. I loved it. And I didn't put the radio on this list, and I should have, because I can remember laying in my bed listening to the radio at night. It was awesome. Flipping through that, you hear different languages and stuff. But we're talking about channel surfing. But I found that movie, Talk Radio. And I was like maybe 16 then. It wasn't a movie that I would have probably rented. It wasn't a movie I went to the movies and see. But being I was just flipping through it, caught myself, And there was other movies and other things I discovered like that. It's hard to discover everything with streaming, I love that. How about number 4? Just riding your bike. That was some damn freedom, wasn't it? Now, you were little, you had a bike with training wheels on it. You didn't go too far, maybe to the end of the driveway or something. But when you had your bike, especially like your BMX, and you have some ramps to jump, you get on that bike and you be gone, man. First, you got to have some cereal, watch a little Saturday morning cartoons. But then the afternoon comes, you get on that bike, at least for me, man, I'd be all over the neighborhood, far, far away. My parents wouldn't even believe it if they knew how far I went sometime. First, you start out in the woods, riding around some of the trails in the woods behind the house. Then I end up over by the lake, 5 or 6 blocks down the road. And I'd just go over to a friend's house. I had a friend named Leonard. I'd pull up in his yard, knock on his door. Sister was there. Sister hated me. Something was wrong with her. She had a mental issue. I don't mean that because she didn't like me. And I was hard on her. What do you want? She would ask me that. And I'd be like, what? He Leonard. I would just she hated me. I hated her. I don't know why. Maybe it was, I don't know. I wonder what happened to her. She still hates me today. But anyway, we go to Leonard's house. Now he'll get on his bike and we head on down to Bo Bentley's house. Bo Bentley! We head down to his house. It was Bo Bentley. What's the kid that went to school with us? And it seemed like he failed every grade at least twice. I think he was like 17 in like the 4th grade or something. He was crazy. We used to always laugh at him. Be like, oh, look at the school. They got a principal parking, vice principal parking, teacher of the month parking. And they got Bo Bentley parking because he's driving to school in the 4th grade. I like saying his name, Bo Bentley. But it was a lot of fun, the bike. Free, you build your ramps and stuff. Oh, I miss the bike. Can't get my fat ass on a bike, ride around and have fun today. No. How about number 5? The local video game rental stores. I think I said game. The local video movie rental stores. Now, some of you, probably millennials, are going to say, oh yeah, he's going to talk about the Blockbuster. No. Blockbuster's the Walmart of video rental places. Sure, Blockbuster was okay and it had what I wanted and I went to it. But the best ones was the local ones. Oh, shows to go. I remember my guy I went to school with, the Shell family. His last name was Shell. The Shell family had a video store. Man, Joy Cliff Road, go down there. It was a hangout, man. It was like the comic book store is kind of like a hangout. The video stores like that, they knew you. You walk in, they'd be like, hey, Steve, got this movie you want to check out. Because they knew you. Blockbuster didn't know you. They didn't know your name. Maybe you gave them that little card, looked up on the computer, and they're like, oh, hey, how you doing? But they didn't know who you were. The local video store, they would hold a poster for you, too. Like, hey, can I get that poster when you're done with it? That poster of Rocky hanging up over there. Can I have it when you're done with it? They roll it up, put your name on the back of it, and give it to you. The local videos, I loved it. Mine had a little card on the thing. You get the box, sometimes they would put the VHS tape behind the box, and that's how you know. You go, you see the box, and you're like, oh my God, and you realize tape's not back there, and you can't rent it. Mine had a little card you pull out. You get up there, the card's gone. You're like, oh, I want to rent that, but the little card's gone. That tape to the man up front's gone. So you have to tell him. And he'll call you when he comes in. Yeah, he'll call you when the guy brings it back. Hey, Jerry's got like father, like son. I'll call you when he brings it back. And you get home, you're checking your phone, you're calling down. Hey, Jerry brought back like father. It was due back at 6:30. No, we're going to charge him a late fee. Well, damn it. I miss it. It was aggravating, but I miss it. Speaking of that, how about the malls? Number 6, the mall. And we'll throw the arcade into this because at least for me, the arcade was at the mall, Aladdin's Castle. I loved going to the arcade. I remember one time stay at the arcade so long. See, we used to go to the arcade, get dropped off by our parents, or at the mall, dropped off by our parents. Didn't have no car. Hell, I didn't have money to car because I used all my quarters at the arcade playing Rampage. I remember one time playing Rampage for at least 2 hours. But I can remember you go to the payphone at the mall, make a collect call to your house, and say your name was Pickup. And that's how you let your parents know to pick you up. Your dad would get the phone and they'd be like, "You got a collect call from Pick Me Up." It was like, it was like a robot and then your voice. "You got a collect call from Pick Me Up." My dad would know to pick me up. He knew to pick me up in front of Sears. So I always been in front of Sears. But you walk around that mall, never knew what you were gonna get into, did you? You see people from school. You see people that maybe you knew from a different school that you didn't really get to see that much. Sometimes you see somebody's parents shopping, that would throw you off. Or you see a teacher. We had a teacher named Mr. Short that sold, he worked at Sears. It really screwed your mind up, man. You're like, Mr. Short's in Sears selling shorts. That's what you said. We thought that was funny. It would throw your mind off. But go down to the arcade. Oh, man, the arcade. It's the only store you went into, girls come in, you didn't care. You didn't care about looking at no girls. You're trying to play a game. You're trying to play Dig Dug. You're trying to play Tron. Great times, great times. Oh, miss it. And how about this? The Blue Light Special at Kmart. Come on, don't act like you didn't like the Blue Light Special. Now, my grandma loved the Blue Light Special. I don't care what we were doing. If that blue light came on at Kmart, you could have been in the bathroom. You just urinated your pants, and your grandma like, "See ya, the blue light's on." Now, if you don't know what is the Kmart Blue Light Special, they would have a light. It was like on a little desk with wheels on it, and they rolled it around a certain part of the store, flipped that blue light on, and everything was like 50, 70% off or something. I never saw them do it in the toy section. I saw them do them up. I don't know if it was the electronic section, but where they sold reel-to-reel movie. They had like a spinning rack that sold movies and film and everything. I never put them over there one time. But I loved it. My grandma loved it. I think I loved it because that blue light special would go off. And it made no sound. And while she runs over there to get some Christmas wrapping paper in June for like 75 cents, me and my brother, who I was with, we run over to the toy section. I can still see the Kmart today in the toy section there, where the Star Wars toys was and everything. And then we knew she was over there. She was excited. She just made a deal. We'll take a Star Wars figure too. Take it over there. She'll be in the mood. She'll be high on that deal she just bought. She'll buy some Star Wars figures. Worked every time, I think. Worked every time. Man, how about this? This is one a little smaller here. You take a cassette tape, put it in your tape recorder, and record audio from your favorite television show. Do you know how many times I recorded the theme song to the A-Team? The A-Team on a cassette tape? I recorded the whole show. And I would listen to it. I think, I was going to say this before we had VHS, but I think we did that. Yeah, I didn't record too much with a VCS when we first got it because it was like we couldn't figure out how to turn the channel while we were recording and all that. It was the timer. Oh my God, the timer. You didn't want to deal with that shit. And you couldn't take that anywhere with you. You only could watch that in front of the TV. Cassette tape, put in my Walkman. I could listen to the A-Team. I could listen to the A-Team going on the way to school. I could do anything. It was awesome. I can remember doing cartoons. It was crappy quality, I'm sure, but dang, I sure do kind of miss that. How about this one right here? The last day of school. We couldn't wait for this day. The last day of school for the year, that is. And you get all excited, man, all week. You're like, I can't do no work. We always had that one teacher that wanted to give you a test the last week of school. Someone you want to give it the last day of school. You're like, what? The last day of school, you could do a lot more, get away with it. What, they won't give you, suspend you? Oh, you can't come back for a week. You're like, I'm not coming back for 3 months, bitch. Last day, it was just like a magical time, and then that bell would ring. Ding, 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 ding. You run out of that school, and you just felt like, all the weight off your back. You're like, I don't got nothing to do for we had 3 months off. We had the end of May till like after Labor Day. And we were like, freedom. And then, your friend Nikki, or it'll be like, what you gonna do tomorrow? What you gonna do tomorrow? You're like, Man, I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping to noon. You didn't have to do nothing to do. You got a little, like, get a job during the summer. No, okay, I'll sell some grip magazines. Man, great time. You have freedom. And that could bring you into the summer right there. But as long as we're talking about the last day of school, let's go to number 10 and talk about the first day of school. Now, when you start around August, you start seeing back to school stuff at the store, and you start to kind of dread it. You kind of start to dread it. You're thinking, oh, back to school. Who came up with this concept? Back to school. But then you get a little into it, you know. You're like, oh, I get to pick out my lunchbox. Lunchbox was a big thing to pick out. You know, that told everybody who you were. You were committed to for a year. Unless you got some crappy like Muppet Babies and get made fun of, you throw it away and get you a paper bag. But man, you wanted to get the right lunchbox to really sell it. You know, to really say, hey, this is who I am. Then you get to pick out your pencils and your paper and all that stuff. Kind of, oh, I want some erasers that look like Hulk Hogan, or I want a pen that has Skeletor on it. You know, you get really excited by the first day of school. You get to see some people you hadn't seen in a long time. You know, at least a long time for us, 3 months. And you're like, oh man, we get to hang out again. You ask your friend, whose homeroom teacher did you get? Oh my God, you got Miss Morrison. You got Miss Morrison. Man, I feel sorry for you. She gives homework in homeroom. Then sometimes you're like, hey, what? You got Miss Jackson's homeroom? So do I. We're going to be in there together. Or you're like, oh, whose class did you get? Oh my God, it's 3 different third grades. Who did you get? Man, Boyd, oh, you're not going to be in there with me? Oh, wait, what? You got Amy Covey in your class? It was awesome, man. It was awesome. Last day of school lasted a couple of days, right? That first day of school, it lasted about 1 day. How about this, number 11? Calling the local theater for showtimes. Now, I say for showtimes, but I would just call the local theater to get them to hear them say Star Wars. Or mostly Return of the Jedi, Temple. I can remember getting a call to say Temple of Doom. I can remember you call that number. You'd be like, hey, thank you for calling the regional movie theater. Today's showtimes start today. First, we got on screen 1, Temple of Doom, starting at 1 o'clock at 2:30. 3. It's awesome. He said Temple. You tell your friend, hey, this guy just said Temple of Doom. Yeah, you call back, you know, one time you called. This guy said Sharky's Machine. He says Sharky's, that's the movie I like. He said it. It was awesome. It was a recording. He didn't care. I don't know how you call a theater if you want to ask him something, because all the numbers in the phone book all went to the recording. And you're like, oh, he said Return of the Jedi. He said Return of the Jedi. You get all excited about it. I can remember calling, because me and my buddy wanted to call and hear him say the best little whorehouse in Texas. But they wouldn't say whore. They said the best little house in Texas. And we'd laugh and we'd giggle. We're like, oh my God, he censored himself. Oh, it was great. Now, you don't have to do that no more. Right? Oh, kids do that. I feel sorry for them. Oh. How about something I used to hate to hear, and now I kind of miss that sound? That was the CBS News music when they let you know the cartoon was over. It come on about 12. It was like a spinning globe. Here, I'll play it somewhere if I can. That sound just let you know. Cartoon's over. Going outside.
In the news, a summer of spy stories.
There might be some cartoons after, but the prime time cartoons, you know, we're over, you know, and you're like, oh, it's time to get the day started. But I used to hate that because you knew. But I kind of miss it now. Kind of miss that little in the world. I think that's what it was called. In the world. I think it was CBS. Number 13, one that takes me back to more when I was sick from kindergarten, going to my grandma's house. A lot of memories there. I could talk about Bob Barker. That's a memory right there. Soap operas. Oh, Victor Newman on As the World Turns, Young and the Restless. I was a sucker for Guiding Light. I can tell you, I can do a whole video on Guiding Light. Reba Shane, what a slut. Reba Shane. Roger Thorpe. I could go, but I'm not talking about that now. We're talking about Captain Kangaroo. And that voice. Listen to this voice of Captain Kangaroo.
But whatever you do, take time and tell someone you love that you love them. That's sure to make it a better day.
That voice. It's just something so soothing about it. I know everybody, Mr. Rogers gets a lot of talk today. Everybody loves me. Oh, Mr. Rogers. But man, Captain Kangaroo, that voice just really, I miss that voice. It's never been anyone like him. 14. How about a crush on a girl? crush on, or your first love, or falling in love. Remember when you get a girlfriend, like that first month, you're like, oh, you're obsessed with it. That's all you can think about. Man. She's like, oh, every time I go with her, I just feel so happy. My pants gets tight. It's crazy. Or there's a girl in class. You're like, you got a crush on her. You keep thinking about it. How can I approach her? How can I talk to her? What can I do? Oh, it was great. And then, you know, another girl showed up. You're like, oh, forget her. I moved on. But it was just a great time. It was a great feeling, man. That first love or the crush on a girl, man. It was heartbreaking sometimes. You're like, oh, I love that girl. I want that girl. You knew she didn't want nothing to do with you. You knew she didn't want nothing to do with you. There's nothing you could do. You flirt, you play around, but you knew you'd never get it. So it kind of got you right here. Let's look at one more thing that kind of just reminds me, makes me kind of miss Generation X era, and that's the HBO movie intro. You know, your family's all there. You got your popcorn. You're fitting to watch an HBO movie, and it shows that city landscape. I remember it was like a city landscape. It took you inside the HBO. It took you inside the O, I think. But it gets so excited. And it's not just the HBO. There was also like the primetime movie themes. It was like CBS Movie of the Week. And show a little preview. It gets you all excited.
Tonight, just when you forget it isn't safe to go in.
What happened?
It's too late.
Miss Sharp, swallow you whole.
What we are dealing with here is an eating machine.
It's a killer. It's a man-eater.
There is no escaping the ultimate terror.
He's going to continue to feed here as long as there is food in the water.
Roy Scheider,
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Robert Shaw, and Richard Dreyfuss in Steven Spielberg's summer classic, Jaws. Next.
It's a great time. I don't get that excited for movies anymore, man. Maybe I'm old. But it's like, I was at the theater. I can see it on TV in 3 months. Go to the TV and watch it, man. Watch it. But no, you get excited. Sometimes you didn't know what the movie was. Your parents just put it on 8 o'clock and get your popcorn. It's like, tonight on the CBS movie, Jaws. You're like, what? It was edited for television. You still loved it. Or HBO wasn't even edited. And you're like, oh my God, this is crazy. You get especially when it said, the future presentation is rated R. And you're like, oh, I'm watching an R-rated movie. My mom and dad's right here. I get to see some violence. They don't care. Then you have to worry because you might see some titties. You might see some titties. Well, you like seeing some titties now. You didn't mind. But as always, you know, it's kind of embarrassing with your parents when you saw some titties. Because, you know, you're sitting there watching, and all of a sudden they're making out, taking shirts off and everything. And then all of a sudden your dad says, ooh, look at that, John kid. Look at that. Look at them boobies on TV. And you're all embarrassed and everything. That was one, I don't remember what the movie was, but it was always it was, someone's a Total Recall, but I don't think it was something. Or maybe it was more than just one movie, but I knew in my head where the new part was, because probably when they wasn't there, I was like making sure I was recording and running back. But I was, you know, I had to get them go. I had to go to the kitchen and get a refresher drink or something. So I need some more Kool-Aid. I need more something. Get up, go to some more pizzerias. I need some more pizzerias. Be right back. Anybody need any pizzerias? Then I come back, I got the clothes back on. I don't have to hear, ooh, when somebody kisses. Didn't you hate that? Didn't you hate your parents? You watching, maybe it was just my parents or my dad. Somebody's kissing on TV and you're, ooh, oh, it's cruel. I still get good. I miss it now. I hated it then. I hated it then. Made me feel so, made me feel so low. Made me feel low, like I could play Tarzan on my shoestring. Remember when people used to say that? Did y'all say that? Did y'all remember that? Who cut you down so low you could play Tarzan on your shoestring? I don't know who said, anybody, come on. Come on. Now I know we said, we're the only people, well, my brother I think made it as ooh bug cut you down, chop chop gooba gooba flash woo. I don't know. I still remember that. I think he made that up. He was trying to make the word bug something. Ooh bug. He tried to make that a popular catchphrase in the 80s. I think it was just him. I don't think it ever took off. Whew, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what you say in the comment section about some things you miss. As a child, even if you're your generation, it's stuff you miss from your childhood. I'm curious, you guys that grew up in the 90s more, you know, smaller in the 90s. In the 2000s, what do you miss? You're like, oh man, I miss watching Doug. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. Let me know some things you missed from Generation X or when you were a little kid.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.